Poisonrana.
First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you can never really know what's up next.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for Up Next. We are live, I think, on youtube.com/postwrestling.
Yeah, I think so.
No thanks to you, Fido Internet.
Oh God, we're done.
We're done now. This is it.
We're hotspotting now.
We are hotspotting using Davie's phone.
Freedom.
Yo, shout out freedom.
Shout out freedom.
Yeah. You figure freedom. Yeah, freedom's great.
I'll let you know next month how much this show cost.
Yeah. Just bill way.
Yeah. Apparently the stream looks good. We are live on youtube.com/postwrestling. We are Poisonrana.
Yes.
And we are your
NXT friends.
Friends.
Hello. Yes, we've had a hell of a night. It's like 10:48.
Oh fuck.
NXT Overrun ran real late tonight. Yeah. We went live, but we really didn't. We didn't learn our lesson. Fool me once, you can't get fooled again, because we decided to not change our internet after 2 weeks ago, and well, we really paid for it tonight.
Yeah.
So we've decided to fuck you, Fido. So
Yeah.
we're gonna switch.
You got to get the F out.
We got to get the F out of Fido. So we will do that, we promise. But we are hotspotting on Davie's phone, and we are here to talk about some NXT.
I might be a bit frantic today.
We are.
I'm very flustered right now. Just, you know, that the NXT overrun, especially when you're like, I program tweets, so tweets automatically go off at certain times. And then suddenly there's tweets going saying we're live, and they're still wrestling in the ring. So that threw us, and then the internet just completely crapped out, and we were trying different things, and now we're here. But sorry, I'm a little all over the place.
Yeah. We spilt water right before we went live, and then we were trying to clean it up, and then the internet went down again. Like, our internet's still down. We're just on your. We're in the
hotspot.
I'm surprised our power's on right now. What's going on? Yeah, holy. So we are here.
Poltergeists.
And yeah, it's spooky season, right? That's exactly it. Look, we're going to chat about Halloween Havoc Night 1 with your post show here at postwrestling.com. Hit that subscribe, and hey, search Poisonrana in your podcast
In your
app.
podcast.
Watching too many Tony D and Stacks matches. Search Poisonrana in your podcast app and hit that subscribe, and check out all the other shows, including Davie and I, every Sunday going live on Poisonrana, talking everything in the world of wrestling. We just did a show on Sunday chatting SmackDown, Collision, Dynamite, and everything in between. Bound for Glory as well. But also on Poisonrana, we have tons of other free shows. Every Thursday, Shot in the Dark, John Cena Evil fills you in on all the wrestling you may or may not watch. Ring of Honor, Women of Wrestling, everything there. And it's 15 minutes or less in case you can't fit all that wrestling in your schedule. He'll do it for you and let you know what happens. He is an OG, and he will be dropping a What Up Doe with B Detroit as well in the next little while over on that Poisonrana feed.
I believe they both got the new Spider-Man 2 game, I think. I'm sure they'll be talking about that. I believe John went to New York Comic-Con, so I think it'll be...
Oh, yeah.
Did he go?
Yeah, he
went,
like he had a lot of fun over there. Yeah, there was lots of cool cosplay and stuff, which I'm sure he got inspired, I'm sure, for his Halloween costume that I'm sure he's working really hard on. So check out What Up Though when that drops. Poisonrana.ca for links of everything that we do. But it's Halloween time. It's spooky season. We're like a week away, and well,
literally, yeah.
We have tradition here on our shows. For 5 years, 6 years running now, we've been reviewing the Halloween movies in order. And this year we are at Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers.
The finale of the Thorn trilogy.
Yes, everyone's
This
favorite.
is the one I've been looking forward to the most.
The most?
It's one of my favorites.
Definitely not. I watched it last night. I can't wait. We're going to record this tomorrow.
It's been a long time since I've watched this.
Yeah.
But am I right in thinking Paul Rudd has a baseball bat? Isn't he
what is
swinging a
Sting?
Isn't he swinging a baseball bat at Michael Myers? Or is that just like my memory playing tricks?
Yeah.
Paul Rudd's in it, right?
Yeah. He just hasn't aged at all
whatsoever.
But he has gotten better at acting, I would say. He is not...
He was charming, wasn't he?
Definitely not the word I would use for this movie. He plays the creepy dude.
Isn't he? He's Tommy Doyle.
Yeah, who has PTSD from Halloween 1, so he's the creepy dude.
Oh.
And then there's the Man in Black. Then there's like what, witches?
There's witches. There's
some weird
Doesn't
stuff.
Michael have a curse tattoo
It's a
or
terrible
something?
mask.
I can't wait.
Yeah. Michael Myers gets a stick and poke. We're gonna be recording this tomorrow, so get your feedback in, and we'll release it on Devil's Night, the day before Halloween. So our movie book club is coming. I know a lot of people look forward to our Halloween reviews.
Yeah.
People out
We
there...
look forward to doing them. It's one of our favorite shows to do every
It is.
year.
Yeah. Shout out people who go back and listen to the old ones on replays and stuff. So we appreciate all the love. And I know our boss, John Pollock, is looking very forward to our Halloween reviews.
We need his feedback, don't we?
Yeah. We need to see what he thinks about Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. Next year, we'll be looking at H2O, which I'm hyped about.
That's exciting.
Love that one.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah, so we're in the mood for spooky stuff here. If that's coming out in the next week or so, but over on our Patreon, if you like the spooky stuff, this whole month has been full of it. We did a review of a movie, Up Yours, picked by Dickie Bird, of Antichrist with Willem Dafoe. This Lars von Trier, man. Was this one of the weirdest and craziest podcasts we've ever done?
Yeah,
Possibly.
like, you don't have to watch the film, guys. This was quite something. We say, you pick it, we'll do it. And this is really a case of a film that we'd have never spoken about otherwise.
I don't ever want to speak about it again after today. We also looked at Friday the 13th, part 3, checking out Jason Voorhees getting his hockey mask. But we are going to talk about Halloween Havoc tonight. Therefore, we decided to go and do a retro Halloween Havoc review. WCW Halloween Havoc 1998. We're recording this tomorrow. It's going to be out on our Patreon on Thursday or Friday. And yeah.
I'm halfway through this. And I think there's always that, I don't know, we were looking at the list. I thought this one looked kind of fun. Boy. Disco Inferno in 2 matches.
2 matches.
Fuck.
And somehow this pay-per-view still got cut off.
This has been a slog. I haven't finished watching it yet, but I am looking forward to talking all about it. WCW is weird.
Yo,
weird
WCW 98, it was terrible. So terrible. So yeah, we're going to chat all about that over on the Patreon this week. It's only $5 to get access to all these shows this month, and you get access to everything that's come out in that back catalog, all the past spooky movie reviews, all the wrestling reviews. It's all in there, and it's only $5. So go check us out and support your boys. And we've been podcasting a lot. We've got some shows coming up, and we're gearing up.
We were on the radio the other day?
We were on the radio the other day. Shout out News Talk 1010, Jim Richards show. We did a wrestling draft. If you follow our socials, you'll find the links to that. They posted the audio of it where we picked our favorite wrestlers and got the audience to vote and decide. We never found out who won, but does it really matter? We all won because you got to hear us.
I won.
I think you won, to be honest. It's okay. I'll let you win. I let you win.
Thanks. Yeah. Oh, cheers. I won some money today.
You won some money?
On football, yeah.
Oh, real footy?
On real footy, yeah. On the Champions League.
Yeah, none of that fake shit.
Yeah, that was good. So, day of highs and lows, you could say.
So, you're buying after the show?
Will we have time? We started so late 30 minutes, over 30 minutes later than usual.
Yeah, people are like, where is this NXT review, guys? It's 11 o'clock. The show ended like an hour ago.
We told you, the overrun fucked us.
Yeah, sure. We'll blame the overrun. We are gearing up for Halloween Havoc Night 2, which is next week on Halloween night. And a bit of housekeeping. We are your NXT friends and your post-show, but we're taking the night off next week. It's Halloween night, and, well, it's one of our favorite, if not our favorite night of the year. So we're going to go out and enjoy. We will be dressing up as wrestlers, but we won't tell you
I've been working on it. Have you cheated yet?
No, I still have I still have my hair. Good. Somewhat, if you can call it that, for my costume. Yeah. We won't give away any secrets or clues. No.
My beard's getting quite thick.
Yeah. Now. So
that's the only clue I'm giving away.
That's right. Yeah. No, you could be him.
Do that.
There's so many costume ideas, like Rey Mysterio with the Batman Louis Vuitton. I'm like, fuck. Von Wagner with the thing on his head. Oh, in rehab. There's so many different costume ideas that go through my head.
We did come up with the other day what we're doing next year.
Oh no, did we write it down?
Fuck.
We should have wrote it down.
We'll talk after. Yeah.
All right, yeah, we'll have to because we love wrestling costumes.
Fuck, who was it?
Yeah, don't say it in case we want to do it next year. But yeah, follow our socials for Halloween night. We won't be going live on Tuesday, but Wednesday, November 1st, celebrate your Halloween hangover the day after Halloween, as we'll be here live, hopefully, at 2 p.m. on the Post Wrestling feed with our Halloween Havoc Night 2 review. So come hang out.
Absolutely. Come hang out. And if you are dressing up this Halloween, send us your pics at Poison Rana Pod. We'd love to see them.
Yes, all the costumes, even past costumes, everything. I'm expecting to see what do you think is going to be the hot costumes this year? Barbie.
Yeah.
Britney Spears.
Yeah, knife Britney.
Knife Britney.
Our friend is being Knife Britney for Halloween.
She put out her book that everyone's going crazy about.
True, yeah.
Justin Timberlake's getting rinsed.
Oh dear.
Turns out he's not some nice guy. Britney Spears is
that why NSYNC are back together.
I'll smooth things over and get together with the band that everyone asked about. Yeah, true. And also today was like this the NHL's Frozen Frenzy thing where they're like doing all these different games. Like now is the time of the year where all these sports are going to be like going.
There's so much sport on at the moment.
And yet here we are talking about the fake stuff.
Yeah. What happened in the baseball?
I don't know. Someone hit a ball and they got points.
I'm trying to see who won.
They won. Did you win money on that too?
I did yesterday, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Someone tell us in the chat. I don't care.
No. Well, let's talk
do
about
it.
the real sports then. Let's talk about some NXT wrestling from Tuesday, October 24th, 2023. Halloween Havoc Night 1. That's right. It's so big, so scary that they had to split it into 2 weeks, 2 shows, and I'm okay with that. That means just more spooky stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I think some years, was it last year they did Halloween Havoc like mid-October? It was very odd.
Yeah.
They did like Vengeance Day, like way after Valentine's Day and stuff like that. Whereas this time I think Halloween falling on a Tuesday is perfect.
Yeah.
And this week just gets you amped up for it.
Exactly. Well, we start things off here with the band New Year's Day with their song Vampire. So to clarify, the band is not called Vampire and the song is not called New Year's Day. The song
is the other way around. Yeah.
It was rocking. It shows
I like
clips.
this. This is proper wrestling music. I'm sorry, but like the hip hop stuff just doesn't really fit.
The hip hop stuff can, but they've been doing like main roster for a while. It's been doing like this like pop rap stuff.
Exactly.
And it's like that doesn't fit really with
Whereas
wrestling.
this, I don't know who this band are, but it felt like, early 2000s, like
it's
montage.
kind of rock.
fighting.
Yeah, it was
I
very
liked it.
rocky, and they were performing live, quote unquote, and it shows clips of people fighting and all the feuds for tonight. So I kind of do dig that as well. Like the music fits the spooky stuff with Halloween.
Yeah.
Halloween. We kick off with our hosts Scarlett and Shotzi, who are the hosts with the most here. We have Scarlett is dressed as like almost like a little Bo Peep or something.
Was this the Bo Peep one? Yeah.
I don't know what it was, but
I think so. And then Shotzi was
Hellraiser, which we will get costume changes.
Yes.
And we will talk about costumes best and worst through the night because I have some strong opinions on what I saw tonight.
Okay.
But Shotzi and Scarlett nailed every single one. They were amazing.
Shotzi, literally, there were like nails in her head.
There were literal nails in her face here. Or was Scarlett? I went to see Alice Cooper and Nina Strauss is his guitarist. And during his song, this lady comes out dressed as how Scarlett was dressed here and decapitates Alice Cooper at the concert.
Right.
So I don't know if that's a relation to what she's kind of dressed as here, but it was a cool costume. But speaking of cool costumes, we kick off NXT Halloween Havoc with a match where Roxanne Perez comes out dressed as Freddy Krueger.
Yes.
This might be my favorite one tonight.
It worked with her ring gear, I think.
Yeah.
It was like kind of cool. I actually saw New Nightmare the other day. Just
Okay.
threw it on.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Enjoyed it.
That's like
It was like the actress of Nancy playing herself. and like having dreams about Freddy and stuff like that.
Right.
And Wes Craven is a character in it, and he's like, I have these nightmares and I just write it down to contain the evil. So Freddy's come to like the real world.
You know, you got to watch the Nightmare like remake
Okay.
that everyone hates.
Yeah.
That it came out that like Johnny Depp was like secretly like, yo, I kind of wish they asked me to like play Freddy because that'd be a full circle.
Oh,
kind of
true,
thing.
yeah.
And then Wes Craven's like, fuck. Didn't think of that. Which I'm like, oh, what if?
Johnny Depp would have just been Jack Sparrow.
Yeah,
with Sweeney
Freddy
Todd.
Krueger. Yeah, where's the rum gone?
Tim Burton would be directing it instead.
Yeah, we'll talk more about Johnny Depp because there's a costume later
True.
from a Tim Burton movie.
But yeah, thumbs up for Roxy.
Yeah, I loved Roxy. I know somewhere Killer Kelly was like, oh, come on, that's my gimmick. Because she always dresses as Freddy Krueger, which she recently posted a photo with the actor, Robert Englund.
Nice.
Which was pretty cool. But yeah, shout out Killer Kelly. But Roxy definitely rocking the Freddy costume here. Kiana James did not get the memo. It was Halloween. She came...
Well, she's a bit boring, isn't she? That's
She's
her whole
business.
thing. Do you remember when they showed that she had a glass of wine? She was like, this is outrageous.
Yeah, when they tried
She
to
was
cancel
mad.
her. Yeah. The kayfabe storyline
Kiana
was,
James drinks
whoa,
wine.
she drinks wine on her Facebook.
So
Wow.
yeah, she weren't going to dress up.
She came out with the like briefcase that we're not sure what's in it, but something heavy because she's been using it to
Her handbag, yeah.
But this is a Devil's Playground match.
Yes.
So they literally took this that way, and it's a playground.
There's swings,
There's
like
like kid swings, slides, a little pool with stuff in it. Like it's literally that kind of match on the entranceway. So these two start going at it. Roxy hits this really fast, like lucha style double tilt-a-whirl head scissors and then a kip up. They start fighting around the ring, and then this is when the swings come into play as Roxy like smacks Kiana right in the head with it. I wasn't sure if it was that or when she smacked her head off the steel steps is what caused whatever that was on Kiana James' face.
like this egg with this star in the middle on her
Oh,
forehead.
man.
This looked huge. I hope she's okay because that looked pretty
That was a
nasty.
goose egg on
Go
her
and
head
if
there.
you didn't watch it, go and check it out.
So
'cause that
these
was
two,
massive.
these two keep fighting. During P&P, Kiana starts to beat on her and pulls out a chain and starts to like wrap it around the face of Roxanne here. Eventually, Roxy comes back with this tope and then a side Russian leg sweep into the slide, which breaks.
I'd have lost my mind if this was the finish. A
Yeah.
side Russian leg sweep through a slide.
Like the slide just like breaks.
Like a little kid's
slide.
plastic slide.
This was great. Kiana comes back though. She kicks out and starts doing this like count. She has a trash can and counters Roxy and starts smacking her into the barricade, and then does a running power bomb onto the trash can for a near fall. The crowd are really hyped for this, and then they start fighting around the railing. The bag comes into play, but this time Roxy takes it, nails her with it, puts it down, and then hits the pop rocks onto the bag, revealing now a crumbled up brick, which to me just looked like pieces of styrofoam or rubber. But okay, it's a brick. And then pins Kiana James and wins the Devil's Playground match. But for what it was, I thought it was pretty entertaining.
I thought it was pretty good. They were beating the shit out of each other at some points in this match. And there was some pretty fun stuff. Like, I did really like that spot, the side Russian leg sweep through the slide.
Of course.
The stuff on the barricade I thought was pretty good. But yeah, I kind of agree. The reveal of the crushed brick after, it just made it look worse.
Yeah.
Part of me was like, you didn't have to open the bag.
I don't know
We've
why they did that,
established
yeah.
already that it's loaded. Because that kind of was like, yeah, you get flashbacks of that skateboard, you know, just
True.
of it, just like,
Right.
oh, well, that's not real.
Yeah.
But I thought both had a pretty fun match here, right? I enjoyed it. Kicked
Yeah.
off the show well. Kiana James is pretty good as well. I wouldn't put her at the top of the division, but I think we've seen her hold her own at times as well.
I do enjoy Kiana James, and obviously Roxy is up there, but I shouldn't have liked this as much as I did. It was definitely the weapons that I've never seen used in wrestling before. So
That made it more. What else could you have had?
in a playground,
I think you
a
could have done more on
sandbox?
the swing.
Yeah, you could have swung off it to kick someone.
Oh, sand in the eyes.
Sand,
Yeah.
pocket sand. Yeah.
Yeah. What else?
What else?
Seesaw.
What else do you find?
Put someone on the other end of the seesaw and just jump on it and send them flying.
Yeah, true. That would be pretty cool.
We
What
went
else?
on seesaws in Detroit, didn't we?
Yeah, that huge outside park. Yeah, what else is at a park that you could use as a weapon? Like those tire swings.
Yeah.
I don't know. Old weird people in the. There's always weird people in the park.
Weird.
I don't know how that comes into play, but I think of parks. There's always like someone who doesn't belong there.
Yeah.
But I like this match. It was good. Shout out Freddy Krueger. We go earlier today. Vic Joseph had a sit-down interview with Carmelo Hayes ahead of his match next week against Ilia. He'll have one with Ilia later on. But Carmelo sitting down with him. And Vic Joseph, you got to give him the journalistic integrity here. Right away says, I got to cut to the chase here. I'm sorry, Melo. Did you attack Trick Williams? And Melo says, whoa, Vic, is this an interrogation or an interview? Like, come on, man. He's my best friend. Why would I attack him? Why would I brutalize him? That's crazy. And Vic says, okay, well, like, you know, I just had to ask. I'm sorry. And like, what's your motivation for next week? He goes, I feel bad about Trick, but I got to focus because it's all about the title. And I can't be him if I don't have the championship. So there's no what ifs. And Vic says, well, what if Trick was in the match? What if Trick is the one who won instead of you? And Melo says, like, oh, there you are bringing up Trick again. But I think it was the way he said it is how it was actually him that brought up Trick. So Vic is like, no, wait a second. You brought him up. And that's when he's like, damn, Vic, okay. Like, don't worry. I'm going to reclaim my prize next week and everything will be right. And this one's for you. Justice for Trick. I don't know. This guy's sounding someone who would say I didn't do it and justice for
Sounds
Trick.
too believable. Man.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah. I like this a lot. I mean, Carmelo's way better when he's got the edge. When he's the heel, I think he shines a lot brighter than kind of what he's as a champion. Yeah, he was great, but I think he's way better as a bit more evil, and he's definitely the seeds are starting to be planted a bit more. They're sprouting a bit here because you watching wrestling, reading between the lines, it's like, wait a second, no, the story you absolutely took him out and attacked him. But
yeah.
What did you get from this?
I enjoyed both these interviews tonight. I thought he did a good job of juggling the Trick Williams story, but also, not going for the title, like just the NXT title, but the title of being him. And especially with, we'll go to it a bit later with Bron Breakker, but Bron saying the other week about, hey, that's what we eat at you. You won't be the guy anymore. Yeah. I think he's seeming a little too innocent right now.
It'll come out for sure.
But I'm still not sure if it's him.
If it's not him, who is it?
Like
Braun?
Someone mentioned Wes Lee last week.
Yeah, I was saying
kind
Wes,
of makes sense because he's probably due a return around now.
Sure, okay.
But no, I liked it. I like these journalists stepping it up a bit in WWE.
Yeah.
I like Michael Cole the other week. He was like, all right, Cody, you're tag champ, but what about your story? What are you doing?
Yeah.
It's like, we need more of this.
Yeah, I like when they're not just a mic stand.
Yeah.
I like a bit more something in them. Where do we go? Backstage, and the Meta 4 are here, and they're with Shotzi and Scarlett, who are giving them a tarot card reading, and they say, soon you will be struck with grief, so you better hold close what you cherish. And while all this is happening, he's a little freaked out, and they're all like, what are they talking about? They don't notice, but Akira Tozawa, superstar from Monday Night Raw, shows up secretly and steals the cup from Noam as he's like, this is all nonsense. It's all a bunch of hocus pocus. And when he looks...
Sorry, what was that?
That's what he said.
No, do it again?
He's quoting the movie.
Okay.
And he doesn't realize who took it, and he starts to freak out, and now he's upset because you know how much he loves this cup, but someone stole it, and he kind of blames the witches here, Scarlett, because he's like, it's all your fault. Now he's a believer because he did lose something. But yeah, what'd you think?
Noam just loves this cup. I don't know. I don't like the whole stealing thing, stealing titles. But this is a bit sillier than, the other title being stolen right now. Yeah. But yeah, what were they dressed as, Metaphor?
Yeah, I could see their costumes a bit more clearly later
Okay.
on, where I gotta say the best of the metaphor, at least that I remember, was Lash Legend as Catwoman.
Okay, yes,
She's
yes.
a very nice Catwoman.
Yes.
But I can't, maybe it was such a good Catwoman outfit that I don't remember what the other three were wearing. But is that good or bad? Are they all gonna have to dress up again next week?
Probably.
Same costumes and everything?
So when
Or
you got
like-
multiple parties and...
Yeah.
Because I need to find something to wear for work as well.
Yeah.
I want to wear something different.
Yeah, we have new wrestling costumes for our actual Halloween night, but I'm a costume recycler when it comes to like the parties and stuff. Like maybe people didn't see I was a space cowboy last year, so I can just do it again and save myself.
Yeah.
Halloween costumes, we're living in a
Are the others even dressed up here?
they're just dressed up as
They just look like the metaphor.
Yeah, it's like it's wrestling, so it's like, are they dressed up or is it just their gear?
Yeah.
Because that's how wrestling is. We go to, are you ready for this? Our next match, the debut of Lexis King, formerly known as Brian Pillman Jr. Don't call him that because he is a king.
He even says it when he comes to the ring.
Don't call me that.
He's like, Brian Pillman is dead. I'm Lexis King.
That's right. Love his entrance. I will say, for all these months that he's not been on TV, he's been plotting, working, thinking of a way to have a really cool entrance. Or someone at NXT was like, what if, because your name's King, you come out on a throne, a chair, but it slides into the way. I thought that was pretty cool. As for the rest of the...
So he's inherited the Triple H Cody throne.
It's like Jimmy the King meets Triple H. I don't really know, but Lexis King comes out with bleach blonde hair, just like his father, and very interesting facial hair.
Yeah, it's very like video game.
It's very GTA.
Yeah.
Like you just picked one.
Stuck on the face.
Yeah. Lexis King is taking on Dante Chen. For those keeping score at home, Dante Chen is still here in NXT.
He was in the Breakout last year, right?
Okay, wow.
But we haven't seen a whole lot of Dante Chen.
Yeah. Well, there wasn't a whole lot in this. We get Dante actually getting some offense here with a drop kick. There's some punches back and forth. They counter some arm rings. Eventually, there's Lexis hitting a clothesline to the back of the head. Eventually,
yeah, it was like almost like across the face.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah,
pretty good.
Dante comes back and tries to go for something, but gets countered. And there's a super kick from King, and then he puts Dante like in the ropes, almost how like Randy Orton does the draping DDT. But this is a draping, spinning neck breaker, and Lexis King gets his first W here in NXT. What did you think?
I think it's interesting seeing Lexis King, Brian Pillman Jr. work in this more heelish way. It's not something we've really seen from his time in AEW, and I kind of like it. I've enjoyed the videos up to now. I like the idea of the character, like wanting to be his own person. I think his look is a little bit more upgraded. Like, there's still obvious like appearances to his dad, but I think there were slight changes as well. I found the match a little dull. I thought he showed a nice enough mean streak, but not a whole lot happened.
Okay, yeah, I loved the entrance because I didn't like the music. It's like generic Rock 13 or whatever, but the entrance way instantly had my attention because I'm like, oh, you look cool, I guess, with the hair and everything. You look like a wrestler, right? I've always kind of liked him, and I wanted to see him in WWE, and I'm happy that he's here. But the question I had was, all this time off, like, did you improve in the actual wrestling bit? And in this match, he did punches and then a swinging neck breaker. So,
I don't think Dante Chen's he's very green though as well.
Yeah,
and
just,
you almost feel, even though he's a heel,
like,
someone like what's his name, Big Body.
Yeah,
like he can bounce around for someone a bit more and maybe put on something a bit more interesting. But
yeah, this was just very dull. So
I thought his finish looked cool, the twisting neck breaker. But
I hope the best for Lexis King, and I'd like to see some improvements. But so far, like, it's a different character than in what he was playing, so I got to give him that credit, and I won't be too harsh on him yet. I want him to thrive. I love this kid.
He said, "My way, my life" at the end, so he was going to go into Limp Bizkit.
My way or the highway. we go to Tony D and Stax walk in on Duke, Hudson, and Andre Chase backstage because these two teams will face in a bit later on tonight. And Tony and Stax are like, hey, hope you're ready for your match tonight. We want to wish you good luck. But Tony and Stax then walk off, and Chase and Duke are kind of like, what are they up to, those two? Like we got these guys. What do they think? They think we're nothing. We're gonna beat them tonight. And JC and Thea will be ringside for Chase U tonight. So
yeah, it's like, I mean, Tony and Stax have been baby faces for a little bit now, but it's like, it was like they didn't trust them there, and I think they were just being sincere.
Well, they are in the Mafia. I mean, no, they're not in the Mafia. That's how you get put in witness protection. We go to our next match. It is a breakout tournament match, a semifinal.
Semifinal, yeah.
Ariana Grace taking on Kelani Jordan. We got the Miss Universe. I love the wave that she does, and I love how she does it in the middle of the match. Kelani Jordan, does this count as a Halloween costume or just really cool wrestling gear? Again, something that kind of goes hand in hand. It was Spider-Gwen.
Oh,
pretty cool.
I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Oh, I'll have to look back.
I feel like it's just like gear she could wear again, or maybe I don't think she's worn this before, but really cool looking stuff. Right when this match starts, Kelani gets this kick into the face of Grace, and she starts to sell that, like, no, not my nose. Oh my God, I think you broke my nose. And right away, I thought that was going to be the whole match, where it's like, actually, I don't want to wrestle anymore. I'm Miss Universe and all this. But the match continues. During picture-in-picture, Grace does get some control, and she keeps trying to make Kelani, like, kiss her hand. She's like, kiss my hand. We see our first backstage shot of people in costumes watching the show. This random room that they always put people in.
To, like, go in there and watch this match.
Yeah, and we're going to give you the smallest TV possible. The PC is a well-renowned, like, high-end performance center for athletes, but we just don't have the budget.
This is just wet break at school, and they wheeled in the VCR.
We just can't afford a great TV for you people. The match continues. There's this flipping leg drop from Jordan for a near fall. Grace does hit her with this really cool-looking backdrop suplex for a 2. There's then fighting on the top, where eventually Grace goes flying back to the mat, and Kelani hits a split-legged moonsault. As Vic says, she is one of a kind. Nice one, Vic. And Kelani Jordan picks up the win and advances to the finals of the Breakout tournament.
Yeah, I think we saw this coming, but I think both have potential. I really like Ariana Grande's character work. I think she's constantly doing, like, pulling different facial expressions and stuff, and I think she could do well. Like, she's definitely fun to watch. And Kelani Jordan has some impressive kind of moves, like the split-legged moonsault looked really nice. But it's still, both of these are pretty green, and there was still definitely some clunkiness and maybe like a bit of walking around and trying to figure out what's next. But I do like both, and I think there's potential for both these two to really improve and be quite good.
Yeah, for me, Kalani's definitely showed like she could definitely be like the wrestler. Grace actually has some wrestling, but so far she's more entertaining me with like the silly character.
Yeah.
But I think that can go like a long way, and she legit is like, this what are they called again? Not Miss Universe.
Yeah, like prom queen.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. So it could work. Well, we have another breakout semifinals later, and we'll find out what the finals are next week. But we go to our next segment. We go back to Tri-PT, the rehab facility somewhere in Orlando, Florida, I presume, where Von Wagner is in rehab. He's got a bandage around his head still. He's got his, he's trying to walk on his own, and Robert Stone is with him. And Von is like, Stone, what are you doing? He goes, what do you mean? I'm here, like, helping you. No, I mean, what are you doing asking for a match with Braun? And he goes, look, Von, I know I'm going to get my ass kicked. I know that. But I just want to get one punch, just one slap, so I can see the look on his face. Because he doesn't deserve to be out there on his fishing boat or whatever Braun Breaker does, while my friend is stuck here trying to rehabilitate himself. And Vaughn says, wait, did you just say, I'm your friend? He goes, yes, I did. See you later, Vaughn. And then hearing this, Vaughn has the strength, the power to start walking across one step at a time. The segment ends. Wow. Vaughn and Stone are friends.
It's their friends. This is built for months and months and months now, really.
Yeah.
The start of Vaughn and Stone's relationship, and
Years.
it's in such a weird way, like, really worked for Vaughn. And I think when he eventually comes back, and you know what I'd love to see? Like, the end here felt like, okay, he's getting his power back.
Yeah.
He's got his friend. He needs to help his friend out. I want to see a thing next week where they're going to transport him to another, like, rehab facility.
Right.
And he takes out the driver of the ambulance, drives the ambulance into NXT, comes out.
Was this Michael Myers?
He does Michael Myers, yeah, on Halloween.
Yeah, true.
And returns and takes out Braun.
Tables him.
But I think you need the big entrance, like smashing through, ambulance back doors swinging open.
So he's not showing up.
Everyone dead in the back. No, just through tables.
Yeah, yeah. He doesn't kill anyone.
The paramedics
he just
are
puts
like
them
through tables in the back of the van, the ambulance, and he returns to help his friend. It'll be great. The place, the roof will blow off the PC.
Yeah, Florida will go nuts.
Yeah.
Eventually bring in the Dudleys for a spot where they give him they bless him the table spot. It becomes his whole thing. I don't know. 1 week he still was barely walking on his own in this video.
But it's the power of the moon on Halloween.
I don't know. It reacts with his titanium.
Yeah.
The way the moon shines off his big old dome. She's gonna give him the power to help Stone next week.
Oh, Ian in the chat saying showing up in his hospital gown.
Yeah, he better. Yeah, he fucking better. With the thing wrapped around his
Please do this.
The beginning of the show starts with like the rehab. Oh, Vaughn, it's time for your sponge bath. Wait a second, where is he? Open window. Sets up the story for the whole show. Because we've done the shows where it's like someone's driving somewhere.
Yeah.
Like to another location.
To what? Johnny's to his house. Yeah.
The haunted house, which we'll get to. But yeah, so maybe we'll see Vaughn show up next week. I would definitely love to see him table and save Stone from Braun, but we'll see. But I love this. I'm your friend.
It's great.
All he wanted this whole time here in NXT was a friend.
But he was very guarded, wasn't he, Vaughn?
Yeah. But
Bless him.
But look at him. I hope he makes a recovery and beats up Braun Breaker. We go to our hosts, Shotzi and Scarlett, with some great costume change here. What's Scarlett? She's a vampire?
I think so. Yeah, I didn't note down every segment.
Hot vampire is what she was. But here is Shotzi as Edward Scissorhands. I thought this was a fantastic costume. This was really looked like the proper movie costume. Like it was so realistic.
She's got the best costumes every year. She looks great.
Yeah, honestly, this was definitely like the best one. When it came to the wrestlers, I'd say maybe it was Roxy who was wrestling tonight, but Shotzi just nails it with these costumes. But they will have another costume change that might even be better than this one later tonight. And then there's next week too. This is just
they hosting next week as well?
I mean,
I think so.
They have to, right? Well, Shotzi and Scarlett have the spin a wheel, make a wheel.
Yeah.
And they're gonna spin it, but out comes the Creeds, Diamond Mine. Clearly, they didn't get the memo that it was Halloween. Well, at least Brutus did.
Brutus was dressed as like a clown, like
Brutus
Pennywise, but didn't do the makeup. Or anything.
He was wearing a clown shirt.
Yeah, it's like his gorilla shirt.
But with a clown.
He just has he's got the Iron Man one. He's just got.
Oh my god, it was exactly like the gorilla one. Yeah, it was. Except there was a clown one.
Yeah.
This guy. I hope he's trolling. This guy's closet.
And then Julius was just in shorts and a t-shirt.
Ball shorts.
Was he trying to be Ken? Maybe, I don't know.
Was he trying to be Grayson Waller? I don't know. They're like, hey, we want to spin the wheel because we got some beef with Humberto and Carrillo. So next week we want to match with them, and well, let's spin the wheel. So they let Ivy spin it. And Ivy, with her big muscles, spins this wheel. And a laugh out loud moment on this show, intentional or not, was it's spinning. And it's spinning. It's still spinning. And then finally Julius is like, all right, it's slowing down. It was not slowing down. She spun this thing like she's a beast. So like this thing just kept going. And it finally landed on tables, ladders, and scares. Which means next week the Creed brothers versus the Garzas. I don't even they need a team name. The Mexican Wolves, whatever they're going by right now, in a ladder match, tables and ladders and scares. Oh my! And the winner gets a tag team title shot.
Awesome. Like I think that would be great. We haven't really seen too much of the Garzas in ring since coming back to NXT. They've had a couple of matches, but
I'm really excited.
I think this one-on-one, this will be great. The Creeds, I hate when they're trying to do comedy.
Yeah.
They're really geeky. They're really not funny. But as soon as Julius kind of like starts like, you know, shouting a bit and like getting a bit more heated, I think he sounds great. Yeah. But just the comedy is so bad.
I agree.
It's like one of the worst things.
Yeah. It's like, how are you my favorite wrestlers to watch on this show? But when you do stuff like this, I'm just
It feels like they're trying to maybe get that like, you know, Kurt Angle, like, can turn serious when he needs to, but he's a bit of a goofball. Like, but
they haven't nailed it yet.
They haven't. But as I said, when Julius is more fired up, I think he sounds okay.
Yeah, I like when they're more serious, but I am looking forward to this match. I obviously would prefer these two teams to have like a classic, you know, take over PLE style tag team classic, which I'm sure we'll get down the line. But these two teams in a ladder match next week sounds pretty good, so definitely has my attention. But we go to another tag team match. The NXT Tag Team title match here. The champions, Tony D and Channing Stacks Lorenzo, taking on Chase U, Andre Chase, and Duke Hudson, with Thea and JC by their side, ringside. This starts off with Stacks just lighting up both Duke and Chase, sending them to the outside, hitting a springboard, like pulling himself, slingshotting crossbody, and then gets back in the ring when Tony assists him in doing a tope to the outside again onto both of them. Just really like fast, high offense really early on as they beat down on Andre Chase during picture-in-picture. When we come back, finally, Duke gets a hot tag. He hits the sidewalk slams. He throws Stacks into Tony like a splash combo on his own partner and hits the boss man slam, the black hole slam, but it's only a 2 count. Finally, Tony's in. He's hitting all these suplexes, belly to bellies, and then Stacks and him hit this like uppercut German kind of combo here. They hit it a second time like off the top, but I felt like the first one looked like it connected a bit more, which reminded me of like Cesaro and
he does the flying uppercut into the German.
I forget. Silver and Reynolds do some German type move as well. This was pretty impressive. So all four guys are just going at it. Eventually, Stacks hits this like slingshot DDT, spiking Duke on the apron. And then they hit the superplex splash combo, the Power and Glory powerplex, which then it's a 1, it's a 2, but then Duke gets back in and does his like jump over the ropes into the German, which then the German breaks up the pin. Yeah. So I know that move is kind of silly. I know WH Park, our friend, absolutely hates this move, but this made sense.
I like it.
This made sense. Oh wait, he's pinning him and I'm way too far. Hold on. Jumps in and throws the other guy to break up the pin. So the match continues. Tony and Stacks try to go for the bada boom, bada bing, but it's countered. There's a huge roll up by Chase. 1, 2, but it's only a 2 count. The crowd are biting on this. I was biting on this. This is when JC Jane pulls out a crowbar and she slides it over to Chase and says, use this. He thinks about it, and Andre goes, no, I don't do this kind of stuff. So he throws it back to JC, and while he does that, he's distracted where Tony's getting the best of him. JC is a little upset that he didn't do this, so she gets up on the apron to kind of yell at him.
Do you want to win?
When Tony gets countered and is shoved into JC, sending her flying, and Tony D kind of feels bad. He's like, he's chivalrous. He's like, oh, no, didn't mean to do that. He turns around. Well, he doesn't turn around. It's Chase who gets like this O'Connor roll on him. 1, 2, 3. End new. Chase U. Finally, the schoolboy dream has come
Chase U prophecy.
Yeah.
I actually thought this was really good.
Yeah.
I thought all four worked at quite a pace. Some of the near falls and the breakups were really fun. And yeah, I enjoyed the team of Stax and Tony D. Actually, I find it way more interesting than Tony and singles. I think they work pretty nicely together, and I think it was the right time to put it on Chase U. I almost wish it was against more of a heelish team, so it felt like them overcoming evil. But I imagine they're possibly going to play it in with, JC he didn't use the crowbar, but inadvertently helped them win. So whether that continues, and you have sort of Stax and Tony D being like, hey, well, that wasn't quite fair.
Yeah. JC kind of converting them without knowing it. Which we predicted last week. Like, that's clearly what they got to do. That makes more sense.
You could keep on having these sort of fluke wins where she's sort of helping, and then they could outright start cheating.
No, I love this match. This had some great back and forth. Stax is just this kid comes out of nowhere. He's got this silly name and gimmick, but the wrestling is picked up for this guy. And when Tony D puts it on, he definitely can for sure. But I thought all four had picked their spots perfectly in this, and I would like to see a rematch down the line. But the story of Chase U got me a bit more interested.
Yeah,
even who knew that bringing JC?
We've been saying for a while that. Why not just put it on them?
They should have a while ago. Yeah, we were saying that one pay-per-view with the 4-way, they were on fire. Yeah. I'd say it is a little later, but with this storyline, it could reinvigorate them, and maybe JC eventually does turn them. Yeah, maybe she turns on. Maybe Andre falls for her or something. There's got to be some
Andre and JC.
Who knows? There can be some stuff. There also is something that happens later that involves. I could just bring it up now.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
To get to it later on when Chase U are walking through the back and celebrating, Duke is like, oh man, this is great, but I just don't know, I'm worried about all this extra pounds in my carry-on. And JC's like, what? No, who cares about that? You're the champion now. And they're like, oh yeah, okay, cool. And Chelsea Green shows up with a big scary werewolf. Oh wait, it was Piper Niven underneath it, who's also got werewolf face paint underneath
the
mask. Okay.
I thought she was just going to keep the mask on for the whole segment.
Right, yeah. Yeah. You're not setting me up for that one, buddy. So these two kind of talk shit to Chase U, and they're like, Chelsea's going to put a complaint in because they make fun of the werewolf. So this sets up next week, Chase U, meaning Thea and JC, are getting a tag team title shot against Chelsea and Piper Niven.
Yeah, part of me kind of wants to see Thea and JC win these.
Absolutely.
When these tag titles were first established, it was established as it was going to be defended over all three brands. And we've had it occasionally, but not quite as much as I think I'd like. And especially that the NXT titles are no more.
Yeah.
I think it would be cool to have it down here for a bit. We've got so much more cross-promotion already between the brands. We saw this on Dragon Lee, just had a one-off appearance on Raw, seems to be an audition, and now he's just full-time SmackDown now.
Right.
You could be doing these little auditions with maybe having a look at a JC and Thea on a Raw or a SmackDown, whatever it is, to have a rematch there. So
I would like them to win.
I think it's more interesting if they win.
I love what Chelsea Green is doing. She's so hilarious. And you know what? I've been a fan of Viper, whatever you want to call her. I don't really like what they've been doing with her since main roster stuff, but I know she's a good wrestler, and kind of her and the two JC, I'm imagining Viper and Thea in the match next week. They could have the size difference there. They could definitely put on some good wrestling. So I actually think this is pretty good, and I want Chase U to have all the gold.
Yeah.
The Chase U prophecy,
absolutely,
as you said. Yeah. So Chase U, throw up the U's. They finally did it, and I'm excited about that. But yeah, I kind of flipped ahead to go to that. But let's go back to where we were and what happened next. Well, we got a hard-hitting home truths. That's the show. That's what he calls the show.
Yeah, Nathan Fraser.
Yeah. He says, I'm going to follow my own line and never slow down is his catchphrase. He says, Dominic Mysterio has a face that's just so punchable, and he's only champ because of Judgment Day and Mommy. And Dominic, I want a match against you for the North American title next week, and that's only if Mommy lends you your balls back for next week. And though that match is official, Nathan Frazier, Dominic Mysterio for the NA title next week.
I think that should be fun. We've seen Dom's matches have been better when he's against these higher flying.
Yeah.
I didn't think his matches with Trick were great, but I liked the stuff he did with like Dragon Lee and Wesley and all that. So I'm looking forward to this. I don't see Dom dropping the title though. I think this should stay on him for a bit longer.
I really love Nathan Frazier's wrestling, but I don't like this, like, what is he trying to, he's trying to be John Oliver or something here. It's kind of just weird to me, but I do think he's good, and I see a big potential for him down the line. We go to a video. Are you ready for tonight's main event? And I quote, the biggest match in the history of Ireland. You heard that correctly. All you Irish people out there, stand up. And if this statement is not true, at Poisonrana Pod, people in the chat, what is the biggest match in the history of Ireland?
I love that they don't specify wrestling match.
It's the biggest match.
The biggest match in the history of
What kind of match?
Ireland.
Footy, boxing? No. Biggest match.
Biggest match in the history of the world.
The biggest match in the history of Ireland. As we cut to all these videos sent in from a bunch of Irish people, some Brits in there, I think, as well, where they're talking about who they think is going to win tonight, Becky or Lyra. And I thought this was pretty cool, like getting a bunch of, like, there's some adults, some kids in there, lots of Irish accents. I couldn't understand
It felt
everything.
like kind of like the American Idol final
Yeah.
when they're going, and even later when we've got them all in the pub watching this.
Yeah, you cut to Becky's going to win, and then it cuts to, no, Lyra's going to win, and then, like, I want to hear Robbie Williams, you know, shit like that. It cuts to the Taps Bar in the United Kingdom.
It just...
Davie, you know how hard it was to find this? I can't find it. You're telling me there's only one bar called the Taps Bar in the United Kingdom?
It's like, like the Taps Bar in United States. It's like, it's just like, that's a whole country.
Yeah. So our listener, is it Rob? Who always finds us the NXT locations? I don't know if you'll be able to find this.
No, this... Actually, this is where it is.
Okay.
Because there's the Taps Bar in Enfield, which is where the UK PC is.
So this is...
This is probably...
The Taps Bar UK.
So it is probably that bar.
And it showed...
Like, I'm sure there looks like there's a lot.
Okay, so obviously, like, time change, this wasn't live there because this was looking like it was nighttime there. But... it had fans, like people in wrestling shirts and stuff, watching this at this bar.
I mean, maybe like it's
someone let us know.
Small town.
Yeah,
like both Becky
and Lyra. Well, it would have been during the day.
Oh, but they said United Kingdom. It wasn't even in Ireland.
I know. That's what I was trying to get at here. I was so confused. Like, it's already hard trying to figure out what's in the UK and what's not, and EU and all this shit. So I was like, wait, it's the biggest match in Ireland history, but they're in. Okay, all right. Never mind. But yeah, I still like this. It made it feel important. It made it feel big.
But then maybe I don't know if the drinking laws are different in Ireland than the UK. You could possibly
drink there.
Maybe legally you can stay, because I've watched wrestling at 1.
You're telling me you can't drink during the day in Ireland? Come on.
Let's have it look.
You're telling me that Irish people can't go to the pub during the day and drink? That sounds like
I'm getting on the case.
Bollocks, as they will. Come on, those people, they don't need, they won't listen.
Generally, bars must close at 11:30 Sunday to Thursday and 12:30 on Friday and Saturday.
What the hell? Ireland.
Whereas
sounds like
in the Taps Bar United Kingdom,
open late.
Well, like I've stayed up. I went to see Revolution in London. That didn't finish till like gone 5 in the morning.
It's crazy. Yeah. Well, we'll get back to the Taps Bar in United Kingdom. Now I want to go there.
Yeah,
go to the Taps Bar. It's like everywhere now being in the United Kingdom once, everywhere was like the Red Lion, this lion, the King's Head, the Queen's Head. I was like, there's so many of the same names. We get a commercial for Bad Bunny, who's now downloadable in 2K.
It's an Irish bar.
It's an Irish bar in UK.
Specifically an Irish bar.
You think Bad Bunny likes Guinness?
Maybe
yeah. Everyone likes Guinness. It is nice.
I do like Guinness.
I want one right now. You got to download Bad Bunny in 2K. That sounds pretty fun.
We barely played 2K.
Yeah, or AEW. We don't even have it.
No, I'm waiting for it to just be cheap.
It's probably been cheap.
Yeah.
It's probably been really cheap. It's probably been really not expensive. Speaking of Baron Corbin being interviewed, he's like, yeah, I lost. And, well, I do all the hard work and someone else reaps the benefits, referring to Carmelo Hayes. And the interview, I think it's Mackenzie. He's like, whoa, wait a second. What do you mean you did all the hard work? Are you implying you took out Trick? And he's like, no. I'm not saying that. I didn't do that. I don't like Trick. I don't like his song. I don't like his face. But I didn't do it. I'm just saying. And I lost, so I got to kind of regroup.
It's what a lot of these heels say. Like, I just beat him up in front of him. Like,
yeah, like, come on. Give me some credit. It's these bad guys. Like, the bad guys would be like, I beat people up every week.
And he said, I think it's Axiom.
Yeah.
He said, I could be Axiom. He's popular right now.
Yeah, wait, what? What?
But he did mention Wesley as well. He brought up Wesley, who's kind of not been mentioned recently.
Oh.
He was like, it could be Axiom, it could be Wesley. Like, there's a lot of people it could be.
Oh, okay. Interesting. So now, therefore, it's not Wes.
It's possibly
it's
not
Melo. We go to our next match.
It should be Axiom. Just,
that'd be great.
Why not?
Baron Corbin should... Baron Corbin's thing is all about, what? Burning the ships. And then we got the... Axiom's what? Spanish?
Yeah.
Some tie in there to the Spanish ships.
Spanish Armada.
Yeah, or something there. They'll work it out.
Yeah.
Put Baron Corbin in a mask as well. Our next match. It's the Devil's Playground match.
Yes. No, it's Lights Out.
Right. I was very confused. I thought this was all the same match.
Yeah.
But there was two of them tonight. This is the Lights Out match. This means these two start in the ring, and it cuts to Shotzi and Scarlett, who then say lights out, and they flip the switch.
Ooh.
Which the lights kind of go out.
It's like blue.
It's like glow in the
lighting.
dark. Yeah, like those dark lighting. So Gigi Dolin taking on Blair Davenport. Gigi dressing up for Halloween as Gigi.
Yeah, I didn't. What was she going to be?
I think she was Beetlejuice type
Okay.
gear. Like she's always kind of spooky
Yeah.
and stuff. But I think she was going for a Beetlejuice type
Gotcha.
costume for her gear. Whereas Blair Davenport's, her entrance, she was Georgie.
Yes, that's right.
Georgie versus Gigi here on NXT.
I do find it funny when it's these blood feuds and it's like, I'm going to dress up as little Georgie.
So for those not familiar, Georgie is the little kid in the yellow rain jacket with the red balloon from It.
Yes.
That Pennywise likes to taunt people with.
Yeah.
Georgie.
Kills him, doesn't he?
We'll spoil it. I mean, it's in the first,
It's in the
5 minutes.
It's the
pretty
opening scene, yeah.
Yeah, pretty good. I haven't watched that one in a
Did
while.
we ever review the second one? I know we did it part one.
We reviewed the first one?
We did it part one, yeah.
I don't know if we ever did the second one then. I mean, the original is good. It's just so long and whatever. I really think they nailed it with the new one, but like I do love the old. Tim Curry's scarier in the original, but the new one's pretty good as well. But big fan. I love this entrance. Yeah. So the lights out match starts. They start to brawl. It's kind of glow in the dark here. Gigi, during picture-in-picture early on, hits the sidewalk slam. There's chairs involved. They're setting them up in the corners. Blair gets some kendo sticks and starts smacking Gigi around with them. The crowd chant, "We want tables." So Gigi grabs a table, and then the crowd starts chanting, "Thank you, Gigi." Can we please retire this chant?
I was just going to
So
say,
over
I'm
this.
fed up of like people trying to have
God.
an interesting match and it's like, we want tables.
Yeah.
It's just let them.
Like-
And then it's like, I got to do the obligatory
I have to do
table
this
spot
table
now.
spot. It's like,
No, I agree. I'm
actually,
fed up of it.
Yeah, it's like, stop. Blair though, like gets this like a strap, a belt or something, and starts like whipping Gigi all over. But Gigi starts to fight back and grabs it from her as well. They have the table set up now next to the commentary table where they're all fighting. They climb up on the commentary table in front of Book and Vic, and this is when Blair hits Gigi with a Falcon arrow off the commentary desk through the other table right next to it, and then picks her up, rolls her in the ring, and hits the Kamagoye, or the knockout blow. It was more of a kick to the face with this, and pins Gigi, meaning Blair Davenport wins in the lights out match, which I think is the right move. Blair's definitely kind of been on a more of a uplift, where Gigi's kind of just been pretty stagnant here, and this one was not a notch on the opening Child's Play match.
No, No, I thought it was fine. I'm glad this feud is kind of over. The feud hasn't really done much for me. It wasn't a bad match, but I think being so close to the other match, which was kind of Plunder, which was just a bit more creative, I thought. You had some more fun stuff. This wasn't anything particularly new, although I did think the Falcon Arrow through the table was kind of fun. Yeah, it wasn't bad, but didn't light my world on fire either. It makes sense with Blair winning, though, especially with the title change later in the night. I see her being a potential challenger, like, pretty soon.
Yeah, absolutely. We go to Vic Joseph and his sit-down interview with Ilia Dragunov from earlier today. And Ilia, sitting, looking good with his NXT title, tells a little story about how his family moved from Russia to Germany when he was young, and they had nothing. I grew up with nothing, and I had to endure everything, every pain in my life. And that's what brought me here, because I endure pain. I can go through it, and I am proud to be champion. And recently, I traveled home, and I got my son to hold this title for the first time, and that is my motivation. And he says that he's looking forward to facing Melo yet again, and that it will be another classic, and Melo will break the same way he did at No Mercy. And Vic mentions, like, hey, you know, this time, you know, it's 1-1 in basically their series, right?
Yeah.
So far, he says, like, how are you going to adjust to make sure you retain? And Ilia says, no, I don't adjust to anyone. Anyone who steps in the ring with me, my opponents adjust to me, which is something we've been saying for years now, is you have a match with this guy, you're getting smacked up, and you're smacking him too. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like, it's a completely different ball game when you're in a ring with this guy. He then says that Melo has become a desperate man, and he's not focused like me. And he says that he will retain the title next week. And then what's his catchphrase?
Unbesiegbar. Yeah.
Czar. Unbreakable.
I love Ilia Dragunov. I think
Yeah.
it's such a unique character that we haven't really seen in wrestling before. Just such a different promo style. Feels a lot more sports-like, almost. But just this really poetic man. I think he's great. I see him retaining, but I imagine we're going to get some funky business next week, maybe.
I love this so much, and he's so something different in the world of wrestling. We praise him every time. We're so lucky to have him here on NXT, because he will be a big deal in WWE.
I feel this kind of character, though, you need to treat, and I think how we've seen Gunther be presented on the main roster, it gives me hope for Ilia, but you can't have this kind of character just float around the lower mid card.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it just seems
exactly.
it almost become comical.
Yeah.
Like he backs up what he says and what he speaks.
He's intense.
So I think you'd need to throw him, when in the main roster, right into that like IC title mix immediately.
Well, it cuts from this interview ending, and it shows Melo like backstage somewhere watching this on a TV screen when the twins from The Shining, Shotzi and Scarlett, show up in a fantastic costume change here. And they say, Melo, in unison, like the twins in The Shining. We saw the cards. It's you. And Melo's a little freaked out by them. And he goes, oh, yeah, it's me, all right. I'm winning the championship back next week. And they laugh, and they go, no, that's not what we saw. And then they laugh, and he's like, "Oh, get out of here! You're just like teasing me like everyone else. You're saying things that aren't true, like everyone else here." And then they kind of laugh and scurry off. This was my favorite part of the whole show. This visual of them standing beside him and him like being freaked out was awesome. They're like terrifying, but also not at the same time.
It was almost like the Nikki Cross that we mentioned last week.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, they literally did that, except like they made it work with the twins thing.
Yeah,
so,
it was fun.
Oh man, this was so funny. So I would recommend checking just the image alone of like him looking at these two as the twins. But so, I mean,
but imagine if it is him, and when you get that big highlight package, it's the Triple H Shawn Michaels. It's the like, the grainy footage.
Yeah.
This is fucking the twins from The Shining.
No, I don't think they'd play it in the. I think we still get the video footage.
Right.
I need that.
I mean, what if we think we're going that way, but what if we find out it was someone else, and then down the line they did it for Mello?
They
like you have your Rikishi, and then Mello.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. Yeah. Like Lashley. Someone.
Is there another? Yeah. Is there another
need
part 2 coming along?
There's probably like 7 of them.
Yeah.
But yeah. I love this bit, but I think they're like, yeah, we know it's you. You son of a. We get a interview with Tiffany Stratton.
Oh, this was great.
Tiffany is being interviewed, and behind her is like everyone else in costume. I saw someone dressed as, was it Jada Parker dressed as like the Punisher? Someone was dressed as Oogie Boogie from Nightmare. I gotta say, Idris Anafe, big fan of you, dude, but his costume.
Yeah.
What the hell?
It was Hogan, right?
No, someone else was Hogan.
Who was Hogan?
I don't know who Hogan was, but not a fan of that one either, obviously. But Idris wore like a fur jacket that he always wears,
right?
And then a Pikachu mask, and he said he's like Pikachu from like the Gangster Pikachu or something. I was like, what?
Oh, that's terrible.
You just put a like a mask on, like a hat on.
I'm gonna look at this.
So I would say like kind of least.
Yeah, because he always dressed like he could make.
Like he wears more crazy flashy gear in his matches. Like,
yeah.
So like I was definitely.
Oh yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, it was definitely let down. Trying to think of other ones that I saw in the background. There's always a cow.
Trying to figure out who was.
Someone's
Hogan.
always a banana.
Hood Pikachu.
Hood Pikachu, yes.
Okay, so it's like it's like a balaclava Pikachu mask.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna rob a bank.
Yeah.
And then wearing a dressing gown. Looks comfy.
Yeah. What were some of the costumes that you saw that you liked or didn't like from the show? Because they didn't necessarily like super focus on them. I'm sure they will a bit more next week.
I'll have to look on. Yeah, maybe I'm sure .com will show or look on their Instagrams. But because I did like this next one. I thought was excellent.
So as Tiffany's being interviewed and she's like asking about Halloween and she's not in the title picture anymore. When Tiffany Stratton interrupts Tiffany Stratton being interviewed. That's right. 2 Tiffies, as it took you a second to figure out who it was, which I think, to be fair, a lot of people may have been like, wait a second, who is that?
Booker
Booker did not know who that was.
And Vic was like, I'll tell you later.
Fallon Henley is dressed as Tiffany Stratton here. Great job here. And she starts to do all the Tiffany she does a classic Tiff promo, like spot on of like the like mannerisms, and then Tiffany gets upset and is like, oh my god, and starts to like do all these finger and she's doing it like a mirror and everything. It was so funny. The blonde wig, even pushing like her tits up and everything. I was dying laughing at this. Very good from Fallon Henley.
I thought she had her bang on. She was great.
Yeah, she was exactly.
And I liked the her toodling her.
Yeah. She runs off.
It's like, fuck, what film is it where it switches at the end. It's like, now get me my coffee. What's that from? I don't know. It's been a long night.
So next week it's Tiffany versus Fallon, but are we getting Tiffany v Tiffany?
Maybe Kane v Kane.
This is
Undertaker.
Is this gonna be like when Mickie James dressed up as Trish and fought Trish?
Okay.
It's gonna be like that. I hope she dresses as Tiffany.
That would be funny.
Yeah, in the match. So
or maybe Tiffany dressed as Fallon.
Oh,
do the switch.
Wow, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Flannel shirt.
Cowgirl. Tiff.
Dixie Dukes.
Will they spin a wheel for this one? Do you think?
Maybe not.
Light tube match. Just shake it up.
I mean, Tiffany's.
Can you imagine if they open the show with that and then just like the internet buzz, Tiffany Stratton,
pizza cutters, all that hardcore skewers in the head.
What was because Fallon's a bit of a farm girl, isn't she?
Yeah.
What was that match we saw recently on a
hog pen match?
Yeah,
hog pen match
with Midian.
Yeah. Let's not do that.
Do a hog pen match between these two.
It'd be great. Book it. But I did love Fallon's costume and mannerisms of Tiff. We go to our next match, semifinal in the Breakout tournament. We have Lola Vice taking on Carmen Petrovic. Shout out Toronto. We get a bunch of kicks back and forth as we imagined here, where both of them have the background. We have karate with Karmen and Lola with like MMA and all this stuff. And Lola's been trolling her on social media, like, oh, like 3-time black belt, like, okay, honey, like I'm this, like naming off all the other kind of things. So they're kind of trying to go for kicks at each other where they're ducking it and moving it out of the way, like this kind of close. Eventually, Lola hits a kick of her own and then like an axe kick to the back. Eventually, there's a spot where Karmen counters a move by using a kick, which like slips her leg and like kicks her away from it, which was pretty cool. I haven't seen something like that. And then eventually sends Lola to the outside and then hits this running tope like cross body to the outside. Which
looked really good.
Very nice from Karmen. You could tell it was like, okay, I'm doing this. This is the biggest thing I've done yet, and nailed it there. Goes back in the ring and goes for like some sort of roundhouse kick, but Lola ducks and nails her swinging black mass type kick, and Lola Vice is very nice and is going to the finals next week as she beats Petrovic. It didn't necessarily get to where maybe I thought it was, with them both having the background of like actual fighting and combat sports and all that stuff, but for what like it was, I'd say we haven't even seen much of Karmen, obviously, really, or Lola maybe a bit more, but there was some stuff in it that was definitely like ooh, but there was some stuff that was still pretty good, including the finish.
Kind of felt very similar to how I felt about the other semi-final.
Yeah.
Just like there's definite promise from both, and some of their kicks look really nice. Others did look very kind of
where they're like running the ropes, not sure where
a bit staged, like a bit choreographed and not quite nailing the choreography. Like them, you can tell they're thinking about what's happening. It doesn't feel too fluid. But I do think both have potential as well.
I agree. Absolutely. And we get this kind of stare down.
This made me laugh because Kelani Jordan then comes out and there's the contract that they're fighting for is like on display.
Yeah.
And then they're both standing behind it and then they do their fighting pose.
UFC
It's like you see in
pose.
UFC and boxing, but we don't really see it in wrestling. So it was made me chuckle.
So the winner gets a title shot as well.
They get the contract, which we've seen it being used like Money in the Bank in the past, but in general, it's like, cashing in for any title.
Any title.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen
because Melo won the North American.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, what other title would they go for? The women's or the tag? Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
we've seen that as well, or at least teased.
Yeah.
We go to the Metaphor backstage. We already talked about Chase U and Chelsea Green. Metaphor, this is where I definitely got to see some of their costs, including Lash Legend, Catwoman, and he's pretty pissed about his cup. And they watched the show back, and they saw that it was stolen by Akira Tozawa. So that's what's set up for next week as well, right?
Nomdar Tozawa?
I think so.
Is it for the cup? Is it Heritage Rules? I need to know.
The people need to know. I would imagine so, but
see what
it was a lot of they're always right.
Like Wikipedia the other day said, what, Nikki Bella versus Paige main evented WrestleMania 32.
You don't ever go in and edit things on Wikipedia just to keep people on their toes? Right. I go in U.S. history and just change things around and see if people notice.
Yeah.
Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes is backstage. I have no idea what you're talking about, the main event of WrestleMania, but okay.
Lost the plot.
Melo and Braun are backstage. No, sorry. Braun walks into Melo and he goes, "Hey, I see you got a little trick up your sleeve." And Melo's like, "Come on, man. Stop with this. Everyone's going off on me about this." He goes, "Look, me and you, we were on top of this whole industry. We were the talk of this whole industry a few weeks ago. And I have a feeling me and you are going to be fighting for decades in this company. And you already know I'll do anything to be on top and to be champion. And I'll do anything to keep coming at you. So next week, Melo, you win that title back. And I'll put Stone in the hospital. And then me and you, we can do this again. Good luck, champ." It kind of walks off. Which is like...
I love Braun.
Yeah,
he's so good.
Heel Braun and heel Melo is like 2-man power trip here almost. But...
And it is that. It's like, let's take out everyone else. We know we're both the best two here.
Yeah.
And it's even if Melo didn't do it, he's planting that idea in his head. isn't he?
Yeah.
That like, hey, we are the two main guys in NXT.
I like this a lot.
And we should be fighting forever. It's manipulative, and it's I think he plays this evil character so well.
We're destined to do this forever.
Yeah, I think he's gonna work so well on the main roster in this iteration. I'm loving it.
Definitely can't wait for Braun to move up. Both of them, but specifically right now. And this character, Braun.
But you're right. Down the line, a 2-man power trip, these two would be pretty cool.
Absolutely.
Like, just absolutely destroy Chase U.
Take the titles.
Yeah.
Why not? Do it.
All the power, all the gold.
All the power, all the gold. And who holds the power holds the gold.
Glory. I don't know.
Main event time. The biggest match in the history
of
Ireland. Ireland, stand up. If you're listening from Ireland,
stand up and applaud these.
Cheers to you. We kick off the biggest match in the history of Ireland. We see the back to the pub. What is it? The Taps?
Taps Bar.
The Taps Bar. Everyone's hyped for this match. Two of Ireland's biggest stars, Becky Lynch and the more newer star, Lyra Valkyria, here in NXT for the NXT Women's Championship. This match starts off. Lyra goes for the...
Well, we have Jade Cargill come out.
Oh, that's right. How could I forget?
In green?
She knew it was the biggest match in the history of Ireland, so she wore her green
fur and
coat.
sat on Lexis King's throne, but it had been moved to the perch this time.
Yeah, it looks nice, though.
Yeah.
She looks better in it than he did.
Oh, yeah.
Becky Lynch goes for the manhandle right away. It's countered. Lyra goes for her kick right away, but that's countered, and they kind of have a bit of a standoff as they go to P&P. There's a leg drop from Becky when we come back, but Lyra starts to fight back with a series of strikes and some palm strikes to like the face, and then hits a Northern Light suplex for a near fall. Becky comes back with the Bex Sploder for a near fall. Becky is then on the outside, and Lyra hits this like baseball slide right to her face. I think by accident just rocked her for a second, and then puts Becky on the ropes in the ring and jumps off the top. Becky usually does this move actually, but Lyra more of like an axe kick off the top to Becky, and she kicks out of this. Eventually, the manhandle slam is blocked again with an enziguri, but Becky comes back, has Lyra in the corner, and Becky Lynch connects with a diamond dust. Remember this move?
Who used to... I only know this from the video game, I think. Who used to do this?
It's like is it not Gold Dust? I can't remember who does this.
It's like almost like a top rope blockbuster, but into a stunner.
You're jumping
instead.
over and then you stun them. Yeah. But Lyra kicks out of this. This looked pretty cool. Becky then tries to go for the armbar, but Lyra keeps fighting out of this and then locks in her own submission, a full Nelson with her long legs. But eventually Becky gets out of it. Lyra then hits her with this huge fisherman brain buster. Is it a bird brain buster here? But Becky kicks out of that. She goes up top for her splash.
Can't a bird in
Yeah,
front of
you can do it. Yeah. She goes for her finisher, the splash, but Becky rolls out of the way, and no water in the pool here. And Becky locks in the disarmor, but Lyra somehow gets out of this. Eventually, Lyra gets Becky up out of the corner with a sit-out power bomb, but Becky kicks out of that as well. Becky then goes up top one more time, and this is when Lyra flips off the top, backflips, lands on her feet, and nails Becky with the roundhouse kick, the falcon kick as we calling it, the bird kick. But Becky kicks out of this. Lyra is shook. She doesn't know what to do, but she gets up, goes for something else, but Becky flips her out of something else and lands the manhandle slam. And this was a huge one. This
like
was
back of her neck, head, like folded her in half.
one,
massive.
two. Lyra kicks out. The PC here. The NXT crowd are going absolutely mental. Becky picks her up. She's going for a second manhandle slam. It's all she's got left, but it's countered. This like headlock takeover style roll up. 1, 2, 3. And new NXT Women's Champ, Lyra Valkyria. As Jade watches on, smiling, the crowd are going wild. The people at the Taps Bar in the United Kingdom are losing their minds, screaming, crying with joy. Ireland, somewhere watching, also very happy, I'm sure. Lyra Valkyria beats Becky Lynch.
Really strong main event. Lyra's been impressing us for a long, long time, and I think this was her best match so far.
Oh, yeah.
Becky's been so good. I think since coming back from giving birth, I've thought she's been even better and has been putting on so many good matches, and You know, I respect her as well. This wasn't dropping the title in a triple threat match where she's not getting pinned.
Yeah.
This is coming in and really putting over Lyra in an excellent match. And I'm sure Becky's had fun doing this run as well, just getting to face new people. It must get, especially, things have changed a little bit now, but the back and forth of just the same matchups on Raw and SmackDown for the last 10 years or whatever, it must be nice facing all these fresh opponents. And I thought, I thought this was an excellent match. Some really good near falls. The crowd were hot. Loved it.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Like Becky, I've always been a fan of this ever since she, the whole the man stuff. Just been absolutely a huge fan. But her comeback since having a kid, it's like she got better. It's like her matches are.
Her character was always there, but I was never like blown away by her wrestling. But her wrestling, I think she's the strongest.
So you're saying to be a better wrestler, you just have to have a kid?
Maybe, yes.
Fuck, someone better get Baron Corbin
Eat
pregnant.
that placenta. And...
Okay, we went two different ways with that. No, Becky's awesome, and Lyra is awesome.
Yeah.
This match rocked, man. These two women were killing each other. They were definitely like on point with the back and forth counters and kind of knowing everything where it was going to be, like not disrespecting the breakout tournament, but like you could tell the difference between people who are just trying to do this and people who are like been doing this at a very high level. And Becky, obviously, being a WrestleMania main eventer, like she can go, and so can Lyra. Definitely stepped up here and proving that she has been a star here. Like we've been pretty high on her. She's definitely dropped the feathers and the bird stuff and become more of a realistic character. And ever since that, it's definitely clicked a whole lot better. And finally, kind of getting her flowers here.
And I think the next step is, it's never really easy booking babyface champions, and especially it's not like she's particularly like, flashy with her promos. So where she's going to get over is by having really good matches. So I hope she kind of continues this run Becky Lynch has been doing and kind of continue the open challenge.
Sure.
Maybe do a one-off tag with Becky on Raw or something like that to go up on there and have Becky put her over as this woman beat me and she's going to be the future and that sort of thing. I do see probably Blair makes sense for her first big challenger.
Blair, I see
a
Tiff
Tiffany rematch.
Remember Tiff is the one who beat Lyra for the title, so like there is that history there, which that was a great match. So like there's definitely a way you can go back to that feud as well. But you'd imagine Blair is the first competitor that first challenger she beats her and knocks off there. But yeah, great match. Honestly, this was the match of the night for me. I really loved that tag team match too. But I did like this main event,
and I enjoyed the opener as well. The Devil's Playground was pretty fun, but definitely this was class. Like this was a really class main event, and
for Ireland,
for a biggest moment in the history of Ireland.
Honestly, honestly, it is even bigger than. I can't think of. I don't know. Brad Pitt movie with Harrison Ford. That's Irish.
What?
I don't know. They did a movie. I forget. Love this. I hope Ireland is happy. I hope everyone enjoyed. I like this episode of NXT. There was some really good stuff. Like I'm easy to please when it involves Halloween and costumes and Shotzi also always delivering. I thought it was even kind of a bit different and also the same with Scarlett being there. Like I think it was like changing it up a little bit to have two people. So good on Scarlett too. Great job. But the wrestling, there was some really good wrestling. That main event really delivered, and broken record here, but every week we do the show, we're like, hey, NXT had a really good match this week that was definitely worth checking out. And I'd say there was two on this show, and the whole show was really fun. The low parts for me were the breakout tournament stuff, but like I can't really discredit, like, look, they're so like new to this thing and still had some good stuff.
And it is part of what NXT is about, and always has been. You've got the really good matches, and then you've got the people that you go, man, it's not quite there yet, but I'm watching you develop and improve, and it's like watching a minor league sports team or whatever. And for me, that is interesting as well. You're not going to get a 5-star classic between Kelani Jordan and Ariana Grace, with all due respect, but it's interesting to see their growth over the years. And from doing shows like What's Next, or just been covering NXT for years and now seeing where some of them are on the main roster, it's pretty cool.
It's pretty great, but also like the wrestling is good, but I've been enjoying the Mello stuff. The Mello Trick storyline has been fantastic, and for people who don't watch NXT, you're missing out on so far. The beginning, something we don't know where this is going quite yet, but I hope it is just Mello's like, yeah, I attacked you. Sorry, you're in my way. I'm done with you. I told you you didn't want to be my friend. You're the one. Trick is the one who left him. Let's remember that.
Yeah.
Trick is the one who left him.
Something else is interesting. This is kind of second week in a row. 5 women's matches on this week's show. Last week had a lot of women's matches as well. And it's been a calling card of NXT for a while. But I'd be interested, like, especially this week where majority of the show was women, like seeing how it does. Because I think it's something that WWE definitely has over other companies.
Yeah.
And like you look at their like Raw division right now, it's strong, and I think we've got so much great women's talent in NXT, and the fact that you can finish the show and look back and don't even really think about it, and then I'm just looking at the card here and you go, wow, 5 women's matches.
There was, and it was every match started at 9:30. It's crazy. No, it's like NXT was known for the women's division, and I guess they're still trying to keep with that, but I mean the women main evented and just like stole the show. So like there you have it kind of again. What's on next week's show?
So we have the final of the NXT Women's Breakout Tournament, Kelani Jordan versus Lola Vice.
Okay, yeah, I see Lola winning it.
I think Lola, because she can be an early challenger for Lyra, who Lyra can beat.
Sure.
You know?
Okay, yeah, that's right. She gets the title shot.
Or you could do the same with Kalani, but I think there's something... Lola's a little bit more kind of heelish with Elektra, can probably have a bit more fun with it than Kalani.
I mean, we got a lot of matches next week. Tiffany Stratton versus Fallon Henley.
It's more about the costumes, I think. I want to know if they're doing the swap.
Yeah, that'd be pretty funny.
Do the Hogpen match.
Chelsea Green and Piper versus Chase U.
I think we both said we kind of want to see Chase U win it. It's just Chelsea Green's been doing some fun stuff with the title.
Yeah.
But whether you need it, she can still do her
Karen
thing and, you know, complain that she shouldn't be defending. It's surely against the rules to be defending this in NXT.
Yeah.
Or, like, you can do stuff like that.
Dirty Dom versus Nathan Frazier.
I think Dom retains
the NA title. What do you think? Dom's going to have a Halloween costume? He should be Eddie.
What else could he be? I mean, he's done Eddie. He is Eddie.
Yeah. I hope Nathan Frazier comes out dressed as Nathan Frazier.
Oh, are you up to date?
No, I'm not caught up. No spoilers.
I fell asleep at the end of the last one. So
Nathan Frazier comes out with some scrambled eggs.
I mean, he's already got the coffee, hasn't he? Yeah. In his fucking talk show.
Yeah.
He had the talk show.
He's Frazier. He's Frazier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'd love that. Let's suggest it to him.
Frazier, better be your costume next week.
In a little, like a suit.
What is Frazier even?
Like a tweed suit, isn't it?
Yeah, all right. Creed Brothers. I think Dom wins too.
Yeah.
Creed Brothers versus Garza and Carrillo in a spin the wheel, make a deal, tables, ladders, and the scares match.
So this is probably just pinfall, I imagine. They're not going to hang anything above.
A contract?
For what?
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe Garza and Carrillo, and they can challenge Chase U.
Okay. Yeah. Wouldn't mind that. Mr. Stone versus Braun Breaker. Stone
is Von Myers is showing up, isn't he?
Hope so.
So I'm saying Mr. Stone wins.
Yeah. I think Braun should come out dressed as Rick Steiner.
What, from Halloween Havoc 98?
Hope so.
Come out with Buff Bagwell.
Please no. And then Ilia versus Mello NXT title match. I think Ilia retains.
There's going to be some funky business.
Spooky business.
Should we see Trick?
Trick shows up. He's like, "You son of a bitch."
Trick inadvertently costs.
Trick comes out. Trick comes down to the ring. It's Trick. We see it's like Stone Cold on the screen. He's here. He's in the parking lot. He comes down. Referee's down. He comes in the ring. Mello. But he turns around and nails Ilia with the title or something. It's all a trick. He was never... The trick up my sleeve is trick. It was all planned.
Right.
And to help me get the title. I don't know. I'm thinking silly wrestling logic. But Really, I just want
You could have it where it's not Mello, but Trick believes it is, and costs Mello somehow.
I think it'd just be a bit more interesting if they literally did because Shawn Michaels loves going to the Shawn Michaels playbook and just do the video like, oh, I saw the footage. Yeah, and it's you.
Right.
So I don't know. What do you think?
I think Ilia's retaining.
Yeah,
but we're getting some sort of angle.
Yeah, I hope so. But yeah, looks pretty good next week. So very, very excited about Halloween Havoc Night 2. Reminder, we won't be going live right after the show, but we will be doing Wednesday, our Halloween Havoc Hangover, 2 p.m. Eastern, live on the Post Wrestling feed, audio out later that day. So you Wednesday morning listeners, I'm sorry, you'll have to wait till later that day.
But in that slot, you can listen to our Halloween 6 review and have a look at our socials, because we'll be posting our costumes.
We have some feedback as well, as Megan in the chat says, Braden, no, please do not have Trick help Mello win the title. I understand. However, I'm going to the Facebook group. Join the Poisonrana Facebook group. We post memes and feedback threads like this. Fire Frank writes in, Halloween Havoc has always meant a big night since NXT resurrected it, and this was no different. All hail the new era of the Bird Lady. Ka. What a rise she's had since moving from the UK brand. Strong main event with a nice shock finish, and Becky paid it forward to make Lyra. And while we pour one out for the family, we salute the U. Give me a CHASE. 5 women's matches. Take note, Wrestling World. Rox and Kiana brought it in a real physical opener. Respect to them. Not so much for the paper brick. Haunted house next week. Alert zombie ref.
Oh yeah, we didn't mention that.
Sorry, that's what's next week.
Going to get.
Sorry, yeah.
The cut back in a haunted house.
Noam Dar and Akira in a haunted house.
So Akira Tozawa's set up a load of traps, I imagine.
Yeah. Frank ends with Vaughn is so brave. Bring on night 2.
All right.
He is brave.
We go to Ethan, who says, Halloween Havoc Night 1 was a fun show. Women's title match was a banger. Devil's Playground rules. Second favorite match of the show. Jesus, that bump on Kiana's head. Lights Out match was good. Wenichu versus Tiffany was a little better. Wasn't expecting Chase U to win the titles, but I'm glad they did. They deserved it. Semi-finals matches were okay. Lexis King looked like a star future champion next few years. Next week looks good. Maybe Von Wagner comes back, and I see Kelani winning the tournament.
And then finally, it's Megan. Usually you read Megan's, but I'll read it for you.
You want to read it?
Yeah, I'll read it for you here. Megan writes in on the Facebook page, a female-heavy first half of Halloween Havoc paid off huge. NXT and Impact Wrestling have 2 of the best women's rosters in the biz. Both companies don't pat themselves on the back or brag about being progressive. There's talking about it, and then there's being about it. Becky Lynch and Lyra went out and bodied it. The false finishes had me clutching my chest, as well as Jade Cargill showing up before the bell. Lyra got the biggest win of her career, despite that NXT was a success as the man made a new star on her way out. No complaints. Part 2 has its work cut out for it. I'm sure it'll have a good shot with Mello Dragunov tiebreaker. Clutching his chest.
Are you okay?
Please
get that scene.
Make sure you're okay.
Yeah. And finally, we go to Sean, who says, Halloween Havoc Night 1 crushed it. Just a ton of fun from top to bottom. The costumes, the gimmick matches, Shotzi and Scarlett, shocking title changes, a big debut, and that main event. If you want to see the definition of generosity in pro wrestling, look no further than Becky Lynch. She made Lyra Valkyria tonight, and Lyra more than held up her end. I cannot wait to see what NXT delivers next week. Very positive listeners this week.
Wow, excellent. Yeah. Everyone's high on NXT this week with Halloween Havoc. Hey, thank you very much for writing in there, everybody, and everyone in the YouTube chat and anyone listening. We appreciate you. We made it through a interesting night for us because somehow your phone is still hotspotting us right now. Yeah. Oh boy,
it's great, and it's been a seamless. Well, we should just
do this.
Get rid of our fucking internet and just
up unlimited data and.
We'll just get better internet, maybe.
Yeah, possibly. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Hey, follow us at Poisonrana Pod on Twitter and Instagram. And check out all the other shows and stuff that we do. Like we said, we had our Halloween 6 review coming out this week. Get your feedback in. Over on our Patreon, lots and lots of stuff. Halloween Havoc 98 and so many other podcasts. And it's only $5 to support and get over like 500 and some podcasts in that archive there. And I know some of you have been secretly finding our new PWT page. But I mean, you're gonna buy these shirts because Scrump sent me a picture. Some people have been ordering. He's had to press some, but there's new designs coming out that aren't out yet. So you're gonna buy one, and then you're gonna have to buy another one.
Scrump's got to get on to them to answer my emails.
This is also true. Yeah.
It should be more up there now.
Also very true. So when we say, we will let you know when the new page is officially up. But for you people who have already bought some, you sneaky people, thank you. That's very kind.
And I'm hoping next week we can officially announce our Survivor Series watch party.
Yes. Toronto listeners, Toronto area people, GTA people, Survivor Series. We will be throwing a little party, watch party in Toronto at Gabby's. So more information on that to come down the line. So yes, we'll be back on Sunday, 2 p.m. Poisonrana. We'll chat about Dynamite, SmackDown, Raw, everything in between. And then Wednesday, November 1st, 2 p.m., talking about Halloween Havoc Night 2 here. So thank you everyone for listening to us and bearing with us. And we love you.
We did it.
Yeah. I myself, Braden Herrington, you can find me Twitter, Instagram at @TheBrayD.
And you can find me at Davie Portman.
That's it, that's all. Take care, goodbye, be safe, and happy Halloween.
Ahoy!
Poisonrana.
First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking these things as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you can never really know what's up next.